Brokers of Expertise, Part 1. Sign up. The first thing you're going to need to know about Brokers of Expertise is, where is it located? Well, that's http://myboe.org. Now, once you've located Brokers of Expertise, you can see that the point behind the site, created by the California Department of Education, is to share the best practices, best resources, best strategies, well, you might say the best of the best. But in order to access that, all those teachers created materials, you'll need to request an account. That button, as you can see, is at the upper right-hand corner, and then you need to fill out each of the items in the request account form. Now, that includes your first and last name and which school you are, where you're working. And yes, currently, Brokers of Expertise is dedicated to public education. So a public school teacher or administrator will have absolutely no problem getting an account with Brokers of Expertise. However, there are exceptions that can be made, especially in the interest of collaboration with private schools. So that will require special permission. And what you're seeing right now in front of you is to scroll through the wonderful terms of agreement or terms of service. And once you have managed to read through all of that, you have to click the I accept button and then submit. And there we go. Now I didn't fill it out, so we're going to pretend that I did. While we're waiting for that to return, we take a quick look over at the standards section. And there you go, there where it says standards. Just click on that. And you'll see a complete listing of many of our state standards, official state standards for different academic areas. And you will see that one of those areas is the Model School Library Standards in their entirety. Part 2, sign in. Now that you've got the good news that you have been accepted to the Brokers of Expertise site and you have received back your username and password, go ahead and click on the login button, and there you see it. And they work off your email address. So you go ahead and type in your email address, and this is my old email address from the Orange County Department of Education. So it doesn't work, so don't send it to me there. And if you forget your password, there's a little forget your password button, and you click login, and next thing you know, you're there. Now you'll notice that I've managed to put a picture of myself there, and you can do the same. But notice under notifications, this is kind of cool. There's notifications about what's come up recently. You can find also the same notifications up in the notifications tab at the very top of the page. And you kind of scroll through there and you can see what's new, what's happening. Also, you'll see just some updated news for you. And this is kind of cool, the featured communities area. And you'll see the California School Library community is a featured community. That's because the librarians of California are using Brokers of Expertise more than any other group. In fact, here are some of the groups. Oh, look at that one. That's the California Teacher Librarians. Fabulous group. I believe most, if not all of those members are CSLA members. So that's very cool. Make sure you join that group. In fact, perhaps it'd probably be a good idea for us to take a look at how you would join that group. So you can see, as we're tabbing over, you see community groups. So you can, once you have the community groups tab, you go over to see, well, which groups are you a part of? Now, being a new to Brokers, you would have no groups signed up, but you can see that I've been a part of Brokers and have a few groups that I'm a part of. and there's that teacher librarians group, and there's California Teacher Librarians have 78 teacher librarians in it. And there's some other groups you can see that I'm a part of, which is interesting. So how many are in some as opposed to others. So there you go. Now, if you wanted to find the California Teacher Librarians group, you would simply go into the search field, type in teacher librarians, and lo and behold, there it is. And you can click on it and join the group. It's just that simple. And there is the teacher librarian group. And for all the members that are part of this group, every time they put in a resource or update a resource, it keeps the group or the team up to date on what were the latest postings there. And so you can see some of the latest postings and some of the upcoming events, like the Southern Section Conference that'll be coming up in 2012. If you're hearing this in 2013, it's too late, but you can check the California School Library Association website to see when the next conference is coming up. Also, you can see when one of the members of the group started a discussion, they have the recent discussions down there at the bottom. And again, most of our folks are CSLA members. If you are not a member of the California School Library Association, I strongly urge you to do just that. So please consider not only joining the California Teacher Librarians group, but also becoming a part of the larger community of California teacher librarians. And there you have it. Part 3, use. Well, now that you're in, we want to explore the resources. And so we click on the Resources tab. And you can see Add a Resource. And then also resources that you have used and resources that are your own. So let's take a look at some of the resources that I've uploaded just for fun. And you can see I've made a really strong contribution of adding 4. Not a lot. But you can see some of the resources, and 31 people have used one of the resources, and some of my resources nobody's used. So that's kind of cool to see how people are responding. Maybe it's time for me to add a new resource. So I click on the tab, Add a New Resource. Now that resource might be online somewhere. It actually might be a resource you find online. But today's example, we're going to actually use a file that I have. It's a PowerPoint, and it's the PowerPoint from the SIG meeting that we had at the Q conference in Palm Springs, 2012. So I choose that, and as you can see, the PowerPoint presentation has been added. And now I need to give it a title. So I'm going to type in Q 2012, the LME SIG meeting, and then a small descriptor about what is on that particular slide. And in that meeting, by the way, we did discuss some of our triumphs or breakthroughs this year. We also talked about some of our challenges, and then we talked about what action might we take in light of the previous 2 things. So I'll just add that now. And now I have to decide if I want to make it public or I want to keep it just within our group. Well, being a teacher librarian, my inclination is to click public. So that's how it works. And then I can decide if I just want to be my own author, or do I want to share this with a specific group and let them, that group, have an opportunity to not only use my materials, but also potentially edit them. So you can see kind of the label down there about how you want to do that. So I choose to make my notes from that meeting available to the group for them to make changes or edit or be a part of the evolution of that presentation. Now I have to decide how this non-student directed material is going to be placed. So you can see I chose adult, you can see professional development, but this is really cool. If you look under the subject matter, this is a new development. previously you would find all the typical content areas, but not this one, library services. And library services is a new addition, and it's a beautiful addition to the state site. And you can see even under that, we've got information literacy and digital literacy. This is really important to note because these two very critical pieces are not found under any other subject area. It is found where it belongs, under the Library Services tab. So I'm going to click on digital literacy and resources, and also professional development. Not exactly the perfect descriptor of the resources I'm uploading, but you get the idea. And then, of course, finally, I have to agree to the terms of service, which means I'm not going to steal somebody else's stuff, pretending that it's my own. But, you know, librarians, if you can't trust them, who can you trust? So now I've hit the upload button, and you can see as the mouse is circling around that area that it's letting you know how much of your resource has been uploaded. And right now, all of it. And you can see it gives you a little icon saying, hey, this is a PowerPoint presentation, and hey, it's contributed by the California teacher librarians. Fabulous. That will have far more credibility, I think, with people than if it was just my name sitting there. So anyway, and you can also see the subject and grades that it connects with. And so it kind of, parses that out for you automatically. And now I'm going to go into my resources and I'm going to see if it's there. And I'm going to search for it. And you know what? I'm not seeing it. Have I been ripped off? Have I not received the credit due me? No, that's not the case at all. Remember, when I signed it up, or I uploaded it just moments ago, I chose for it to be part of the California Teacher Librarian Group. So I'm going to go over to my groups, click on the California Teacher Librarian Group, and I hope it's there. Well, let's see. Well, yes, there it is. See, shared resources, one of the most recent, is sitting right there. The Q 2012 LME SIG overview. So absolutely, it was there. And so we can see that I've successfully uploaded a resource. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation of the introduction to the Brokers of Expertise resource sharing site. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me from the Brokers of Expertise site through the messaging. My name is Glenn Warren. You can find me at the California Teacher Librarians Group.